The New Zealand man who was shot outside of a Goochland County home last month is now behind bars.
It made news at home and around the world.
Troy Skinner was shot in the neck while allegedly breaking into the home of a 14-year-old girl he met online.
Deputies say a 25-year-old New Zealand man would travel more than 8,000 miles to meet a Goochland teen he'd met in a gaming chat room. Troy Skinner would be shot by her mother June 22nd before ever getting to the girl, who investigators say tried to cut off communications.
What their ultimate goal is not actually found out until we're to the point where we can arrest them.
While not connected to the Goochland case, Sergeant Chuck Love knows this as a detective for the Louisa County Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. He also knows exactly who's looking to click with your child when you're not watching.
Their life online is probably as dangerous, if not more dangerous, than their life in person. It's like the child has their own little world, and you're not in it.
Daniel Reset entered into that world March 8th, 2010.
Just randomly started chatting to him, and next thing you know, it escalated real fast.
The day the retired naval officer and his wife learned their 14-year-old foster daughter had received nude photos and was sexually communicating with someone she thought was a 16-year-old boy named Dominic, whom she'd met on the social media site MySpace.
Have you found your camera yet? I can't believe I'm gonna be your first.
But in actuality,
I miss you so much. I want to hear your voice.
I found 2 more motels.
It was a 46-year-old Canadian school bus driver named Alan Suave.
We were in a state of shock initially, and pissed off that somebody would even try to do that.
What Suave tried to do would be documented for 9 months after he called the teen suicidal, claiming he'd shot himself in the chest. Concerned for her online boyfriend, she confided in her Louisa County High School guidance counselor, who then went to authorities. From that day on, an undercover detective took over the teen's online identity.
It went from her talking to somebody to they're into our computer in a matter of hours. It was fast.
The beginning of Suave's predatory end.
In the beginning, they're very friendly. And then they become more and more controlling to the point where your time is their time. And it gets to the point where you're jumping through hoops trying to maintain what they want you to do.
Detectives say Suave was determined to make the child his wife.
Did you get the other email about me getting on one knee? I'm on MapQuest right now. I'll let you know how far and how many hours, okay?
Suave himself, a father, was mapping out his trip to the States and what he planned to do upon arrival. The rest of the messages are too graphic to air, but investigators testified Suave's plan was to get the child pregnant and take her back to Canada. But he'd be arrested after crossing the border, and thanks to all of this online evidence, would ultimately be sentenced to 110 years in prison.
She could have been killed, molested, any number of things. Hauled off to Canada, who knows?
What would your message be to parents?
It happens fast, and you just got to be on your guard all the time.
Your child shouldn't have that kind of privacy that's going to allow them to endanger themselves or even the parents.
Experts say by monitoring your child's digital world,
the 25-year-old had been chatting to a 14-year-old girl online.
You'll have a better chance of avoiding this one.
Would you take your child and drop your child off to the worst place in the city and leave that child there and walk away? Well, that's pretty much what people are doing with cell phones. You have got to know what they're doing on the cell phone just as much as you do in real life.